My name is Ethan Marlowe, and I work night shifts as a security guard at the Aldridge Municipal Library. Yeah, I know. Libraries don't sound scary, right? But this one's different. The kind of place that smells of old wood and mold, like it's holding its breath and waiting for something. I've always liked the quiet, until the quiet started whispering back. I took the job because it was easy money. Just me, a flashlight, and 4 floors of dusty books. The library closes at 9 p.m., and from then until 5 a.m., it's just me and the echo of my own footsteps. At first, it was boring, peaceful even. Until that one night in October, when I realized something in the library wasn't resting like it should be. It started with the cameras. The feed from the West Wing would occasionally glitch, showing static for a second or two before coming back. I chalked it up to old wiring. But then the camera started showing something else. In the static, just for a blink, I swore I saw a face, grinning, like someone was leaning into the camera just to be seen. I rewound the footage, frame by frame. Nothing, just static. Then came the books. Every night I'd do my rounds, and every night I'd find the same book lying open on the floor in the ancient history section. Mortem Manus, The Smile Beyond Death. Never heard of it before. Leather-bound, dusty, but untouched by time. The pages were written in a language I couldn't recognize, but every page had an illustration of a face smiling too wide, like it knew something you didn't. One night I tried putting it back on the top shelf myself. Made sure it was snug between the others. I even marked the spine so I'd know if someone touched it. But 30 minutes later, during my second walkthrough, there it was again, open on the floor. Same page, same smile. That was the first time I heard it whisper, "You look too long, Ethan." I froze. The voice wasn't loud. It was like it was crawling directly into my ear, bypassing the air entirely. I spun around. No one. I started dreading every shift. I drank too much coffee. I tried keeping music in one ear, but the smiling book, the whispers, the face in the static, they didn't stop. They intensified. One night I brought in my phone and decided to film a vlog to prove I wasn't crazy. I pointed the camera at myself and started talking, explaining what had been happening, trying to keep my hands from shaking. Then the comments started appearing on the screen before I could upload. "He's behind you. Don't smile. Smile back, Ethan." The screen flickered and turned black. My face appeared, smiling. Not me, but me. Too wide, too many teeth. I dropped the phone and ran. I ran until I hit the exit, but the doors wouldn't open. They don't lock, ever. But that night, they didn't budge. Behind me, the sound of pages flipping, fast, frantic. And then, footsteps. I turned to see someone standing at the end of the hallway. He looked just like me. Same uniform, same haircut. But his smile, God, that smile, was wrong. He wasn't blinking. He just started walking toward me, slow and steady, with the book clutched in one hand. "You read it, Ethan. Now you're the next page." I don't remember what happened after that. I woke up the next morning in the staff lounge. Everything looked normal. No book, no static. My phone was gone. When I told the supervisor I wanted to quit, he looked at me with a strange expression and said, "Funny, that's what the last night guard said, right before he disappeared." I checked the employee records. My name was listed, but above it, someone else. Same face, different name, Miles Holloway. And his record? Terminated. Not fired, terminated. Ever since that night, I can't look into mirrors. Every time I do, my reflection smiles before I do. And every night, just before I sleep, I hear that whisper in my ear. "Don't forget to smile, Ethan, forever." My name is Richard Johnson, and I work as a nighttime dispatcher at a remote police station, Station 47, located at the edge of the old Silver Pine Forest. It's one of those outposts that barely anyone remembers until something bad happens. And that's exactly why I'm telling you this. The building itself is old, like 1950s bunker-style old. The walls are stained with decades of cigarette smoke. The air always smells faintly of mildew and burnt coffee. I used to laugh about how the chairs creaked louder than the phone lines. But I don't laugh anymore. It all started 3 months ago when I got the call at 2:14 a.m. A woman whispering, crying, begging for help. She claimed she was being followed. I asked for her location, and all she said was, "He knows I'm in the woods. He's wearing their faces." I tried tracing the call. No coordinates, no number, just static. Then the line went dead. I dismissed it as a prank, maybe even a mental health issue, until the same exact call came in the next night. Same time, same words, same static. And then again, and again. I began logging the calls, played the audio for my supervisor. He thought I was joking. But each night, the woman's voice got more frantic. One night she said, "He's at the station." I froze. I looked up. No one was there, at least not that I could see. But the cameras, oh God, the cameras, showed something else. There was footage from the rear entrance that night, a tall figure with unnaturally long arms dragging what looked like animal skins over its body. The screen glitched every time he moved. My supervisor said it was tampering, some kind of interference, but I knew it wasn't. The next week I started hearing tapping, soft, rhythmic tapping on the windows behind me. But we're on the second floor. Sometimes I'd see something dart past the hallway outside the dispatch room, but when I checked, there'd be no one. Except one time, I found a wet footprint, barefoot, human-sized, but not shaped like any human foot I'd ever seen. The toes were stretched, split, almost like claws. Things got worse. One night, my partner didn't show up. I found his car in the lot, door wide open, engine still running, radio blaring a loop of the same 911 call I'd heard for weeks. "He's wearing their faces." The last night I worked there, I won't ever forget it. At 2:14 a.m. sharp, every phone in the station rang at once. And then, all the lights cut off. The backup generators didn't kick in. My flashlight flickered, then failed. Through the pitch black, I heard something breathing. Wet, heavy, animalistic. The temperature dropped so low I could see my breath even in the dark. I backed into a corner, clutching my baton like it would do anything. Then, I saw him. He stepped into the weak moonlight leaking through the blinds. His face, or rather faces, hung like a macabre collage stitched together. A smile that didn't belong, eyes that weren't symmetrical, skin that sagged like it had been worn too long. He tilted his head, like he was studying me. I passed out. When I woke up, it was daylight. The power was back. But the phone lines were fried. No one believed me. They shut the station down the next week, called it infrastructure failure. But that's a lie. It's still there. And some nights, when I drive past the old road near Silver Pine, I swear I see the glow of an old red phone light flashing inside, waiting. My name is Alyssa Monroe. I'm a freelance illustrator, and I moved into apartment 3B of the historic Elmsworth building last summer. It was a dream. Vintage charm, brick walls, big windows, and a rent that didn't make me choke. The building had character. Antique moldings, creaky wooden floors, a lobby with oil paintings of unsmiling people I figured were long-dead founders or something. My apartment came partially furnished, which included these gorgeous antique mirrors, ornate, gold-trimmed, tall as doors. There were 5 in total, scattered in odd places. 1 in the hallway, 1 above the fireplace, 1 in my bedroom, and 2 facing each other in the living room. I didn't think much of it until the 3rd night, when I noticed something strange. When I walked past the mirror in the hallway, I'd see myself pause, just a fraction of a second too long, like the reflection was lagging behind. I thought I was just tired, maybe overworked, but it kept happening. Then the dreams started. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, hearing scratching, soft at first, like nails on glass. And every morning the mirrors seemed moved. Just slightly off kilter, facing a different way. I'd correct them, but the next day, they'd be different again. One morning, I looked into the mirror in my bedroom and my reflection didn't blink when I did. That was the first time I screamed. I tried removing them, covering them, but they wouldn't budge. No matter how many tools I used or how hard I tried, they stayed stuck to the wall like they were part of the building itself. I brought in a friend, Mia, to check if I was losing it. We stood in front of the mirror in the living room, the one that faces another mirror directly across. You know how they create that infinite hallway effect? We were watching the corridor of reflections, and then something moved 3 layers deep. It stepped out of rhythm. A shadow. Not us. We bolted. Mia didn't come back after that. One night I stayed up filming them. I set up my laptop camera to record from midnight to 4 a.m. When I reviewed the footage, I felt my blood go cold. At exactly 3:03 a.m., the mirror in the hallway rippled like water. A hand reached out. Long, pale fingers pressed against the glass, then pulled back in. And then, in the very last frame before the camera shut off, I saw myself. Or rather, something that looked like me, standing behind me. I didn't sleep after that. I researched the building. Turns out, Elmsworth used to be a private hospital in the 1920s, one specializing in psychological experiments. They believed mirrors could trap emotions, memories, even fragments of the soul. There were rumors of a patient named Eliza Dane, obsessed with mirrors. She believed she could step into different versions of herself through them. One day she vanished, right from her room. All that was left was a broken mirror and a smear of blood. Apartment 3B used to be her room. I'm telling you this now from a motel halfway across the state. I haven't been back since I left in the middle of the night. But the worst part? Sometimes, when I'm brushing my teeth or walking past a shop window, I catch a glimpse of myself in the reflection. And she's smiling. But I'm not.